Hello there. My name is Nick Marinelli. I am the acting executive director of MAGFest Incorporated, and this is the monthly MAGFest Fireside Chat. For those who are tuning in for the first time, the Fireside Chats are a monthly update about what's going on organization-wide, any notable events, mostly internal stuff. Cogs, the gear's working. Not super exciting announcements, I guess, or anything, but interesting if you want to know how it all works. Usually, in the past, we've just advertised it to staff, but I figure, if attendees want to check it out too, why not? So I don't have any fire, unfortunately. Let's pretend that these candles are lit. But yeah, again, my name is Nick Marinelli, acting executive director of MAGFest, monthly fireside chat. So let's talk about what's been going on. First, most importantly, MAGCon is coming up next weekend. That's November 17th through 19th. Excuse me for a second. Gotta make sure. There we go. And before I go on, just reminder, as always, I can never do this right. If you have any questions, submit them here, and I will answer them at the end of the chat. And if you ever want to book a time with me personally to talk for half hour, whatever, it's right there. It's synced with my Google Calendar for the most part. Might not be totally accurate, but it should give you a pretty reasonable idea. So where were we? MAGCon. Coming up November 17th through 19th. What is MAGCon? MAGCon is the convention to plan MAGFest. Well, it's a little confusing, but it kind of stems from the joke of it's not a convention, it's a festival. If you give me just a second here, I want to make sure that I'm properly tuned into the chat so that I can. Although it's a little bit difficult for me to. All right, there we go. I'm going to try to monitor the Slack chat and the YouTube chat as much as I can, but it's a little hard to keep up. So please use the question form if you'd like to ask something. Okay, the last time, MAGCon, the Convention to Plan MAGFest. It's our staff summit where we basically all get together and get geared for our final run-up into the January event of Super MAGFest. So officially, the event, MAGCon, goes from the 17th to the 19th. It's at the Gaylord. Practically speaking, though, most of the big stuff happens on the 18th, and that's really what we want people to see the most. There will be some social time the evening of the 17th, and the 19th will have some additional breakouts. If you have a request for a breakout, email Ashley Nicolette, our volunteer coordinator, our Sultan of Staff Services. You can get her on Slack too at NetSlumber, or email at stops@magfest.org. We'll have some cool breakouts on Sunday. I think we got Hachi talking Magstock stuff. Then maybe on Saturday. But we also have Jenny Truss is bringing a bunch of VR stuff, so that'll be fun. And Nugget and the game show team are setting up the more game show stuff to play around with. The green screen thing that's not at all related to the Nickelodeon game show. So this MAGCon will be mainly focused on Super MAGFest. In the past, MAGCon has been kind of organizational wide, talk about future plans for MAGWest, talk about what's going on in all the other events, talk about restructuring, all that kind of business. Since we are now doing our spring MAGCon events, we're going to have the spring MAGCon events be the ones that focus on the larger picture organizational stuff. We can have equal time talk about all the events and also general structure. a MAGFest. And that's not to say we won't talk about other things. We won't talk about things besides Super MAGFest at MagCon. It's coming up at MagCon. But just that we'll be giving a little bit more focused to Super event specifically, the one coming up in January, and also giving some additional training that we all really need to safely handle a crowd of 20,000 people, which I need myself. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, there'll be some cool and interesting stuff at Super MagCon. That's November 17th to 19th. Most stuff on the 18th, and a newsletter, a staff newsletter, will be sent out shortly with more details. Everybody's welcome. Department heads, staffers, volunteers, attendees if you really want. And parking for staff is free. Moving on. What else has been going on in MagFest world? Zelda Symphony of the Goddesses just happened last weekend up in Baltimore, and we did a cool little cross promo thing with them. The Zelda show, it's basically a touring orchestra where they play a suite of Zelda music. It's pretty cool. It's accompanied with visuals and all that. And we did a cross promo thing where we got to go to that event to set up. It was eight different Zelda games spanning from Zelda 1 all the way up to, how far did I get? Skyward Sword. We did not have a copy of Breath of the Wild handy. We also did not have Wand of Gamelon. I tried. I could not manage. So thank you to the volunteers who helped at the Zelda show. I hope you all had fun. Also, we had NecoCon. NecoCon's an anime convention down in the Tidewater area, Virginia. We've been doing promo table swaps with them for a long time. I think a decade plus. There's so many of these anime conventions around. But anyway, that was I wasn't there, but from what I hear, it was pretty fun. And thank you to Josiah and Nikki and all the other volunteers that were down there repping MagFest at MagCon. What else happened recently? Game Over Richmond. If you're not familiar with what Game Over is, we have a series of touring concerts. It's kind of like a do your own MagFest, do your own BitGen, I suppose. We can't necessarily, we don't have the time, the energy, the effort to do MagFest events everywhere that people want to do MagFest events. So we have these game over concert format where if someone anywhere, if someone anywhere wants to host a concert to highlight their local VGM, chip, nerdcore, geek, rock, anything like that community, we tell them, all right, look, show us a balanced budget, something that you think if you sold 100 tickets, it would work out. If it looks okay to us, go ahead and do it. You can use our name. We'll help promote it online. And if for whatever reason ticket sales fall short, we'll cover the difference. You know, part of our mission as a nonprofit to help promote video game music and such. You know, it's worth the investment. Game Over Richmond does not require an investment. They're just straight up a wildly successful event, and the team that puts that together is amazing. That was just a few weeks ago at Richmond. This was their second time doing it. It was at a goth/fetish club, which, as vanilla as I am, I know what that word means. If I were to be there any other day, it'd probably be a little odd for me. But they were very cool people that ran the venue. It's a very cool venue itself. This is Fallout down in Richmond, of course. But yeah, it was a great show with A Rival and a Nova, Master Sword. Sorry, not Master Sword. Gunblade X. It was a great show. And thanks to the Richmond crew for running it. That mostly covers kind of the events we're doing. Quick update for hiring for the Count of Communications position and the Lord of Logistics position. We've gone through, we've interviewed all of the candidates so far, most of all the information we need out of them, narrowed it down to a select few for both positions, and we're going to get a little bit more information from them before we make our final determination. And we also have to run it by the department heads are going to be working with them the most, because if the department head that they're most likely to be working with can't stand them, and it's likely we missed something during the interviews. So hiring layouts. A little while ago, the division heads reached out to all of the departments in their divisions and Super MAGFest with some preliminary layout requests / assignments, asked for feedback. We got that all back, aggregated it all. We met on Wednesday. Excuse me. Met on Wednesday, and we've got what is close to a, you can never say final because things always change, close to a workable. No, it's great. There's no conflicts that we know of, so we're gonna send that out probably tomorrow, if not Monday. Each of the div heads will send the layouts out to their individual departments, just so they can have the personal connection of asking for feedback. But yeah, again, we took the feedback from the initial assignments, we made adjustments. We'll send them out before MagCon, and when you get them, just feel free to call out any red flags you see. Anything specific to your department will definitely get to. If it's something maybe you don't like elsewhere in the event, we'll see what we can do. But priority is just making sure that people are as happy as they can be with the space they have. It's tough not having the Riverview ballroom, which I'm not going to promise next year. We're supposed to have it, but I'm going to remain cautious just because that's who I am. Okay, so we've covered MagCon, Zelda, NecoCon, Game of Richmond, hiring, layouts. I want to talk about the hotel launch that occurred at the end of August. So there are tons of hotels within 10 or 20 minutes of National Harbor, but all the National Harbor ones sell out very quickly. And the pain in the ass thing is that we don't even have, we can't get discount rooms for every single room in every single hotel in National Harbor. It's tough because we want to get as many discount rooms to offer to our attendees as possible, but hotels don't know they'll sell anyway, so it's quite difficult for us to get enough discount rooms to give to everyone. So we send those out, and those get booked up fast. And after those get booked up, people start going through the normal websites and seeing if they could pay $400, $500 a night for a hotel. And so the National Harbor stuff sells quick, and we're continually trying to add more. But even if you don't get a room in National Harbor, there has to be 10,000 hotel rooms within 10 or 20 minutes of MAGFest, and we have many hotels around with discount rates, and there are many more we don't that are reasonable. But I recognize that the hotel launch was a bit of a pain. I know that it feels like no matter what you do, you can't get a room, and so people are understandably upset. And I want to take a moment to thank our social media team and our hotel team. They were the front lines giving customer service the entire time. And some people were understandably very angry, which is, I mean, which is fine. You can't get a hotel room, you've been waiting for us, it's fine. And then there's those who may be unreasonably angry, to which I have to commend the social media and hotel teams for sticking through that. And I also want to thank the very supportive MAGFest community that was reaching out to us just to let us know to hang in there. But all that aside, just to clear up a couple misconceptions about how the hotel stuff works. Number one, we sell all the discount rooms we can, but there are always more rooms that are not discount. Two, that waiting room, you didn't get any advantage if you had multiple tabs open. It was all the same if you had 100 tabs open. They all got in at the same time, so nobody had an unfair advantage in that case. And it's tough because it doesn't. Everyone will have a different idea to throttle these rooms to make sure people who deserve a room get a room. I don't know who's even to say that. But the fact of the matter is, well, the point is, we continually try to make it as fair as possible. And if nothing else, how it went this year was, if we did not have Experian, if we instead dropped a dozen hotel links on you at the same time and said, all right, here you go, have fun. I can't imagine. I can't imagine how much worse that would be. But, you know, here I am just thinking about how much worse it can be, but I still have to recognize the frustration. So we do have some extra discounted rooms that are close to National Harbor, and we have a plan to send out those discounted rooms, and then once those are out, redirect people to a third-party general hotel searching site that you can find the best rate anywhere that's not necessarily a MAGFest rate. And once, we'll if not tonight, tomorrow morning, we'll send out a newsletter about that plan, just to make sure it's very, very precise. So I don't want to trip over it without making sure it's perfect. So that was actually all I had for this particular Fireside chat. Kind of blew through stuff. This has been a very busy month. As we get closer to Super MAGFest, it starts to become a blur because it's just constantly working on the tasks that we got at hand. But I will tell you, our manufacturing is off the charts. My God, we've got again custom circuit board badges developed by our genius. I don't know how we just happen to have people that just electronic engineers, that'll just be electrical engineers, and just make shit like this. But I don't want to give away too much. I don't know what they want me to give away. Let Charles and Mark, if you're in Slack, or let me know if you want me to talk about it. But they're baller-ass functional circuit boards. They may not be able to be personalized this year, but if nothing else, they're cool as hell. You're gonna like them a lot. Our badges are awesome. My God, we're really rolling with the King Donut theme. The goddamn donut. It's penance for me pushing the Sunny meme this whole time. Anyway, no, it's super cute. These badges are adorable. I obviously can't show you them right now for security reasons. Can't have you screen capping and duplicating them, but they are so cute. And so are the the merch, the t-shirts, the swag bags. I've been seeing all the proofs sent my way, and it's so goddamn adorable. I think you all are going to love it. And we'll have the shirt you pre-ordered. You're going to get the standard, not standard. You get the MAGFest logo with the cool themed logo for this year. And we'll also have a special King Donut shirt that's available for purchase at the event as well. Oh God, what did I want to talk about? There's something regarding shirts. Staff shirts. Last year we started doing shirts for our staff. The way we did it was we gave you 2 shirts. They're bright red. It said MAGFest staff on them. And while we understandably can't force you to wear it, we if possible, as much as possible, we would like you to. It acts as a beacon to show people who's available for help, who's actually staff, and it's actually also a bit of a security bonus too, because if you're seeing that sea of red around you, because we have a lot of staff, it's a deterrent to do things that you shouldn't do. So we give the 2 shirts, and we give 2 because if you're going to have to wear it on shift for 4 days, then it's gonna get stinky. So we'll give you a second one to make that a little bit easier. Unlike GDC, which I believe they give you 1 shirt and you have to wash it in your sink. The shirts are neat because, I mean, again, it's that beacon for help. And if you're not comfortable giving help, that's fine. Not gonna force you to wear the shirt. If you can, that'd be great. And if you wear it and you're not comfortable in giving help, the only 2 answers you need to know is where's security and where's attendee services, or where's the closest map. If you just know the answers to those questions, then you're set. So this year, if I might need some code help for this, just because we're a little strapped for programming effort at the time. But I want to make it so that staff are given the option to sub their second staff shirt for a swag shirt, because I know a lot of people they like having the event T-shirt. That's fine, and yeah, I feel bad giving 2 of 1 shirt but none of the other. It costs a shit ton of money to buy these shirts. But if we can get this working, please, any Uber coders out there, ping me. It shouldn't be too terrible of a thing. Just something that if you want to risk the BO, you can opt to have a single staff shirt and a swag shirt as well. Regarding the staff shirts, Steph just pointed out a very important thing. Well, one, if you are wearing your shirt, you are expected to answer questions for people. If not answer questions, at least tell them where security or staff or attendee services is. So if you're not on shift, it would behoove you to take off the shirt. With that in mind, please do not wear previous year's staff shirts at following year's MAGFest events, or really any MAGFest event. You can wear it any other time of the year, at absolutely any time, anywhere. You can go to PAX, Otakon, strip club. I don't care. Just we can't have people who are maybe not staff or people that are not prepared to be on shift. I don't want to say posing as staff. It's it's not malicious, but it can be very confusing. Anything else on staff shirts? I'm going to move on, but if anybody else has questions on staff shirts, drop them in the forum or Slack or whatever. Bunny did have a question about, she wants me to talk more about MagCon breakout sessions and how people know to go where and what is supposed to go in one. It's a good question. We'll be sending out a schedule, if not tonight, tomorrow. It's a spreadsheet that tells you what rooms everything's going to be in. Make sure you're on the MAGFest staff mailing list. If you don't get it in the next couple of days, ping Ashley and the rest of the Stops crew, and they will make sure you get that. And I think it'd be a good idea to make a point of channeling that in general, too, just so that people know what's going on with that. Okay, so that's the only question so far. Let me think. I don't know. Any requests? I'm trying to think what else is going on here. I just go through my. Just not cut it off too soon. See if there's anything that I forgot to talk about, that I forgot to document. No, I think we about covered it. We sent out the final chance to customize your badge option. So staff, your name is printed on your badges. We'll see if we can get names attached to the circuit boards for the people who purchase the supporter. But we will have to see at this point. But please fill out that final chance. Please make sure your name is correct as soon as possible. We'll be cutting that off the evening of the 10th, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, we'll be cutting it off because we got to get this shit to print. Our badge printers are on point, and they're making sure that they have enough lead time to get this stuff done. So Sheva, our badge manufacturing supreme leader, is doing a great job working with them. Other stuff. Department head checklist. Please stay up to date with your department head checklist. Department heads, that is. Speaking of department head checklist, I really should have talked about this. Have you all seen the fucking new department functionality in Uber system? It's insane. Rob and the rest of the code crew, they basically revamped how all of departments work, and now it's not this weird piecemeal thing scattered all over Uber. There's just a button that says what are the departments, and it shows you where all the departments are, who's in them, what the description of them, what the points of contact are, who's responsible for the checklist, who's actually in charge of it, coming soon is the ability to modify the points of contact and the people responsible for the checklist, and also the ability to add departmental specific roles. Up until now, a few years ago, there was just one global trusted flag, which basically meant you could, if you're trusted, you can handle money. We got to the point where a single trusted flag wasn't enough, so we wanted to make sure that we could have finer granularity, that each departments are able to specify trusted for that department. Now that's helpful, but it's still not enough of information, because trusted or not, like if you're in a department like Mediatron, trusted does not determine whether or not you're a skilled photographer, videographer, or audio mixer. So very, very soon we'll be able to add custom roles that you can restrict the shifts to only people that have that role can sign up for that shift. It'll be glorious. It's awesome. Thank you so much to the code team. Also, thank you to the code team for fixing the biggest pain in the ass department checklists for people who are department head and are in multiple departments. That is now no longer an issue, although we don't yet have a way to say you're specifically head of this department and this department. You, if nothing else, can see the checklist for each of the individual departments that you're involved with, and also who has already completed the steps in those departments, so you have an idea of who's doing what. So thank you, Rob and Vicky and Thaley and all y'all for that. Let's see. Anything else? Bunny asked if I could run my hand to the right side, my hair, because it's sticking up wildly. I don't know if I believe you. Oh, come on. That's not that bad. What do you want from me? I think it's fine. These are the questions I get, folks. Okay. Scanning through just to see if there's anything else exciting going on. I know. Well, I guess we're talking about the department head checklist. I really need to stress how important that is, because there are departments in MAGFest that are support departments, and while your department may very well be able to get everything together in the last couple weeks and put on a great event, there are departments that their sole job is to support other departments, and if they don't hear from all the departments what their needs are up until a week before the event, it's impossible for them to meet everyone's needs. So things like tech ops needs your tech requests as soon as you can get them in, because you don't just snap your fingers and a projector appears. I mean, if you're Rob Sculling, you do, but most people can't. Logistics is going to have some new requirements this year for specifying what to bring, because gone are the days where we can just bring it all from the warehouse. It's confusing. Stuff gets lost in transit. Nobody knows where anything is. So the logistics teams are working on inventory and tracking systems to make sure that we know where stuff is going, where it is. And I don't know if they're being this strict, but I would personally like them to. If you don't tell them explicitly what you want, you are not getting it. I think that's fair, because logistics cannot read your mind. You can't just say, "Oh, I'll get the gray tote." There's 30 goddamn gray totes in one bay. It's tough. So yes, logistics is developing ways for you to specifically request what you want. So please, for the love of God, adhere to that. Adhere? It's so strict, but similarly, the hotel department will have a form for you to fill out. Stuff like how you want the room to be set up, what kind of tables, chairs, garbage cans, water service, all that you need. Look at the checklist. Every single thing on that checklist you need to do at the time that it asks. What else? Pose, lounge, and lobby bar jam sessions. Deborah Lennox, our music division head, has been working with the music departments to get actually also Steph, programming head, is doing it as well. Long story short, we're actually having legitimate scheduled content in the lobby bar and up in Pose, that night lounge. I don't know if you've been up there, but there's the secret speakeasy elevator right next to the entrance to the hotel. And I mean, it's a nightclub, and we've never ever in our 6-ish years at the Gaylord had it in our control until today. So there'll be a lot of cool jam sessions and DJs and whatnot. Some more quieter, docile stuff will be in the lobby bar, just because it's in the atrium, so you can't really have a DJ up there. But there'll be all kinds of stuff up imposed as well. Scrolling through what else we have in what we've been doing this sprint. If you don't know, in the office we use a methodology called Scrum, where every 2 weeks we evaluate what needs to be done the next 2 weeks and prioritize based on that, and make sure that we focus on just those things for the next 2 weeks. We know that things will come up here and there, but above all else, we try as much as possible to get those particular things completed. We have daily stand-ups every morning. We talk about what we did yesterday, what we're doing today, and what we're blocked by. And Deborah posts those every day in the office channel in Slack. So you can go through and read those to see what we're working on. And I believe, yeah, you can just kind of see the backlog in general, all the stuff that is still yet to be done. Let's see, what else have we done this sprint? I really do think that about covers it. Yes. Okay. So what we're going to do at this point is I'm going to open up a Google Meet, which is basically Hangouts, except it can support more people. And a quick question. Charlie Albano asks, when did the shift goes up? She thinks she missed. He thinks he missed that email. So the shifts were announced, I believe, on, was it 7th, the 8th. Things were a little hectic with the shift imports this year, so not all shifts may be ready now, but there's a bunch there available now, and get in touch with your department head if you don't see them already. Here to make sure. So there's an email that was sent out November 6th called "Please complete your MAGFest staff/volunteer checklist." It came from stops@magfest.org. Find that email, complete that checklist. We need to know where you want to work, what you're allergic to in the staff suite, and what your hotel needs are. Most hotel rooms are Thursday night, Friday night, or Saturday night. Hotel rooms on Wednesday night, Tuesday night, Sunday night, those are reserved strictly for people that are working setup and teardown, and those are heavily regulated. Everyone wants to work setup and teardown, but we need. Well, I wish more people would work teardown. That'd be nice. But we need help during the event, so we can't front load that stuff. But yes. Okay. Let me look over. Just do another scan of all these things here, these chats. Yeah, contact stops@magfest.org. That's staffing operations, stops. If you have questions about your staff volunteer registration or shifts or anything that's, I won't say anything that's needed from you as a staffer. Stops exist basically. They're there to help you with your hotel room and to make sure that your registration is set and that you can get all your shifts set and all that. If you have like departmental specific questions, hit up that department, but otherwise stops can give you a hand with that. But looking around, giving us a shout out to the dispatch department who needs people. Dispatch is basically you're a CB operator, breaker 49er. Hang out for a few hours a day, listen to radio channel 0, monitor Slack. Your job is to help direct people where they need to go in terms of requesting help, not like directions, physical directions. Directing people where they need to go for help. Yeah, I think that's the end of that sentence. Yeah, you don't have to be there to answer everyone's questions, much like those wearing a staff t-shirt out around. Just be there to help people get the help they need. Routing, switchboard. Also, consoles needs help. Consoles needs help. Panels needs help. Anyone else need... I have to say them all. I am not saying your department unless you list it in... No, I'm taking... Can I take that back? All departments need help. God damn it. Logistics, consoles, staff. Sweet. All right, for real. All right, this is done. What I'm going to do now is security. Security needs help. I'm going to post a link to a Google Meet, and I'm going to post that in Slack as well as the YouTube chat. You can hop in there. We can actually talk one-on-one. So just this television bullshit. Television. It's like calling a Nintendo cartridge a tape. Yeah. All right. So thank you all for watching, and I will, just to make sure that I don't cut out the people on the YouTube channel, I paste that now. I will see you next month. I'll see many of you at MAGCon.